Now being joined by Glick, a former foreign policy advisor to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Welcome to the show, Ms. Glick.
Thank you very much for having me, Rahesh.
Right, Ms. Glick, these are unprecedented times. It is day 5 of the war in Israel. Around 1,200 Israelis have been killed in the Hamas attacks. And you're joining us live from Jerusalem. Shed some light on what is the on-ground situation like.
Well, I think you described it well in your news roundup in terms of the intensity of the campaign now taking place in Gaza, because I think what we saw with Hamas's invasion of Israel on Saturday and the abject slaughter, the Nazi-like slaughter that we suffered on Saturday, makes it very clear that the experiment that we've undergone over these past several years since Hamas seized control of Gaza in 2007 of trying to coexist with a jihadist regime run by terrorists on your border has failed, and that the only way that Israel can be safe is if the Hamas terror regime in Gaza is obliterated. And so what you're seeing now is the opening stage of an Israeli operation that's geared towards that goal, because otherwise we're simply not going to be able to be secure in our country, and we're going to see more beheadings of babies and mass rapes and murders of women and beheadings of our citizens.
Right, Ms. Glick, the humanitarian cost of the war in Israel is extremely concerning. But earlier in the day, U.S. President Joe Biden reiterated the United States of America's strong support for Israel, from military aid to critical assets. Now, I want to seek your perspective as to how will this change the complexion of Israeli attack?
I don't think it'll change the complexions. The United States and Israel have various defensive agreements regarding procurement. And part of that agreement is that has the supplies produced in the United States by American rather than Israeli military industries. So we've already suffered 5,000, 6,000. I can't even remember the latest count of missiles from Gaza, which to defend against which we jointly developed with the United States the Iron Dome missile defense system. And part of that was Israeli technology and American financing, and the deal had those missiles being produced in the United States. So obviously we need our supplies replenished. And so the American resupply, this is also true of ammunition. So American resupply is essential, but the nature of Israel's offensive is not going to be changed by it.
Right. These airstrikes are being launched from both the sides of the war. Do you expect any prospect of ceasefire anytime soon?
No.
Right. And what are the options left for Netanyahu on the table as of now? You've served as a former advisor to the Israeli Prime Minister, and the hostage situation also remains extremely precarious as of now. So what are the options on the table for Netanyahu?
I mean, the option on the table is to invade Gaza and to destroy the Hamas as an entity, both military and otherwise. Because, again, I mean, Indians have suffered this so much at the hands of jihadists that have attacked you from Pakistan and in Jammu and Kashmir and in Mumbai in 2008. And you guys understand as well as anybody, the jihadist ideology is totalitarian, and it is impossible to moderate. And so that is Hamas. Hamas is a Muslim Brotherhood organization, and it is a jihadist organization whose ideology is the same as that of the Pakistani jihadist organizations and Al Qaeda and ISIS and all of the rest of them. So this is not an organization that can be moderated, and that's why it has to be annihilated.
Absolutely. Just a follow-up to that, Ms. Glick, Israel has been pounding Hamas hideouts in the Gaza Strip with an intention to eliminate Hamas militancy once and for all, which also Netanyahu has reiterated very staunchly. The pertinent question being here that how will Israel identify Hamas from the Palestinians in such a strong offensive?
Yeah, that's a really important question, and I think for the people of the world, the good people of the world who are concerned about the welfare of Palestinian civilians really have to be demanding that Egypt not patrol the border with Sinai to prevent them from escaping to the Sinai, but rather enable it, because that is where they can seek refuge. Because the civilians are being used as human shields, as President Biden said last night, by Hamas. And everybody who wants their lives protected, and nobody has done more to protect the lives of Palestinian civilians than Israel over the years. And the way to protect them today, under the circumstances, is for Egypt to allow Palestinian civilians to escape to Sinai. And all pressure from the world community should be placed on Egypt to enable them to escape to Egypt.
Right, Ms. Glick. Thanks very much for joining us and sharing your insights with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.